Welcome back to Don's Life. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. I'm quite excited because if you've been following the build, you know that we have added this prototype sport bar onto my EGR electric RollTrac, and we've decided, well, I've decided, we are going to install some lighting on that sport bar. So let's go. So first, let me start this video off by saying I'm sorry it took a little while, but I wanted to make sure that a few things were in place. Ideally, I wanted the weather to be better, actually colder, so we didn't have all this melting snow and all the muck and stuff like that. So you're gonna get a dirty truck in today's video. But also, I wanted to make sure that my switches were upgraded for the additional lighting that we're gonna add. That's right, I'm gonna add lighting, implying that we're going to add more than one light. So this video, we're focused on one of the big upgrades, but I have some more in store even after that. So if you're not a subscriber and you wanna follow this build, there's actually probably a couple hundred videos out there on this truck. So you have a whole catalog you can go look at, but you could subscribe now and you could start here and see what else we have in store. So to bring everybody up to speed, this is an EGR electric RollTrac tonneau cover. Just open it up there for you. We have a custom sport bar that is secured to this electric RollTrac. You can see I have some pre-wiring done there. That's actually for a lighting mod for the sport bar. That is not the one we're focusing on today, but we are going to add something pretty significant here. Now this sport bar does block the original camera right there, but we installed a new camera here instead, and it works really good. Excellent upgrade, very happy with it. Kind of blends in, doesn't really stand out, looks good. Now some considerations with this sport bar. We have a couple mounting points here. So when you saw that I installed this, I talked about these mounting points, but now we have to look at what can we put on here that'll give me clearance to go out my garage. So that's a big consideration. Now I live in Canada, and a lot of the places that I go has underground parking, and the underground parking sometimes is only within inches of that shark fin antenna, or maybe a couple inches. So I have to take that in consideration too. So as much as I would like to have 6 big round lights here, and there's some great things on the market that we could have looked at doing, instead I'm gonna have to go with a light bar, but I think you'll like the one that I picked because it's very consistent with what we've been doing on the truck. So again, I mentioned that the truck is very dirty, but if we get to the front here, you'll remember I put a light bar in the bumper. This is made by Strands. It's their Siberia line. It's a dual row light bar with a white DRL marker or an amber DRL marker. I've got it wired up so we can do all the combinations. So I wanted something that was consistent with that because up here we have the matching cube lights, also by Strands, and it has a white DRL marker or an amber DRL marker, and of course it has its floodlight as well. Those are fun little lights. I would definitely do those on any truck I owned going forward. I really like this setup. You might not always be able to put a light bar like this one in your bumper. I was fortunate enough to figure out a way to do it, but I would highly recommend doing this as one of your first lighting upgrades. I love them. So to be consistent, we have a double row Strands Siberia light bar with both color DRLs. It's essentially the same thing that we have on the bumper. Of course, it's going to be much brighter because it is more than double the size, but we have this beautiful 42-inch light bar that we're going to mount on there today. Now we do have a couple mounting options. We can use these side brackets, which is pretty standard, but these side brackets are not going to match up with these holes that are sitting up in the top here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these guys. Now these guys are really cool because you can place them, and I'll show you here. You can place them on the back of the light bar and you can slide them to wherever you need. Really easy to install. You take these bolts that come with it, you slide them down the channel, and then you line up your bracket where you want it. That's after you mount this to the holes that are already right here. So that's what we are going to do. Now wiring is going to be pretty easy. I have the wires right here. I just have to extend them to where my switch panel is. The switch panel I'm currently using is the Auxbeam 12 gang switch panel. It's right here. I have it set up already to be location number 1. I just have to run the wires from the light bar down this tube here under the cab and then over to the switch panel. Not a big deal, but maybe you don't have that set up, and that's okay. You may remember I did a review on this light bar here. This is an awesome light bar. Still considering maybe putting it on the AT4. I'm just not there yet. It does have extra features, has a strobe light, has the DRLs just like the Strands light bar, but this one also has a giant amber fog light in it, which is really cool. And then they make this switch for it. Well, this switch, even though it's made and purpose built that it can handle all the functions of that light bar in one convenient package, it can be adapted with an adapter just like this. This just plugs in to the switch right here. And then these wires, you just match them up to whichever options you have on that light bar. And then when it comes to the different functions on these buttons, well, they give you a nice little label kit that you can change them to whatever you want. So options, options, and options. One thing I'm guilty of on this channel is always showing you options. So first things first, I think we need to get up on the truck and mount these brackets. Now, before somebody lights me up in the comments, there's a reason why I'm mounting the light bar here and not with a bracket, because I know they exist to mount it up here above the windshield. Now, the light is more effective here for anything close range because I can angle it downward and I don't have the cab to compete with to block the light. But the problem with it here is at high speeds, wind noise, airflow, it can be problematic. Not necessarily on all vehicles, but a lot of pickups there's been testing, and putting your light bar right here, especially if you do high-speed driving, like on the highway, road trip, stuff like that, it potentially could make a whistling noise, airflow noise. You just might not want to do that. So because we have convenient mounting right here and it's going to be nice and clean, this is where we're going to mount it. Plus, it's better for aerodynamics and airflow. Not putting it on would still be better, but this would be the lesser of the two evils right here. Now, if we're lucky, the thread pitch, the size of the bolt, everything should be ready to go. So we've got our lock washer on here, we got a flat washer, and yes, it all fits. Now I'm gonna eyeball these as best I can to make sure that they're pretty square. I'm just gonna get it close to tight, then I might have to pull the sport bar off, and then I can tighten them up a little more as needed. But for now, we just want it so we have a little bit of wiggle room. But I'm very happy with that. This is sturdy. I don't think we're gonna get vibration. I think that'll be pretty good. I guess we'll see, but the bar will be above the roof line. But if you're right in front of the truck, you might not see it. Now, because I'm alone filming this video, I'm gonna show you this here because it'll be hard to film when I'm using both hands to mount it. We don't put the actual nut in here because if we have to thread the bolt into it through these holes, the bolt's gonna bottom out and then we'll never get it tight. So this has to go first. So we'll put in all of our bolts. Obviously I won't have the rest of the hardware on it. We'll feed them through these holes, get it all lined up. And then we'll use our flat washer, followed by our lock washer, followed by the actual retaining nut. So this is how it'll mount up. Again, I can shift it left and right. I started putting the nuts on here. I haven't put them here yet because I'm probably gonna move this and just set it forward a bit because I wanna take care of the cable management. So in a previous video, I showed you that I prepared for this install. So we have a hole right here that's bored out the size of this cable. And I knew it exited on this side. This bar still has to shift over this way a little bit. That's why I went with a 42 inch and not a 50, is because the 50 would be way out here and I don't think it would look right. So I thought the 42 was just right. Let me adjust it a little bit for you. So I think that looks good. I think that's a good width. If it stuck out too far on the side here, I think it would start to look like an add-on and not as clean as this is gonna look. So those are the type of things I consider when doing installs. I know you might not agree with all of them, and that's fine, it's my truck, but I'm gonna tuck this wire into here, and then it's going to come into this area here, and then it's gonna go back down this tube, and it's gonna come out with these other wires, which are for some more lighting that we're adding to this bar. And it's not front-facing lighting, but that's all I'll say. Alrighty, now I want this install to be as clean as possible. So look at that right there. This is just a label on the cable, so I can cut that off, but it fits so nice in there. We'll get our angle and position right. I think it's gonna look great. You can see I've got the main wire for the light bar. It hangs down to about the steps. We're gonna have to extend these wires all the way to the switch box. I've got 15 feet of 10 gauge wire for the actual floodlight because we need a little heavier gauge to support that. And then I have the 16 gauge, which is going to be for the DRL wires. You can see there's quite the difference here in the thickness. So this is for the white and amber DRL, and this is for the power for the floodlight. we'll extend those to the switch panel. For the other lighting upgrade I'm doing in a follow-up video, we'll do that all at the same time. Now I know what you're thinking, so I'll address it, but why not just have all these wires go into the box, keep it cleaner than having them come out here? Well, I don't want to compromise the structure of these rails. They weren't designed to have a hole drilled through them, pretty sure anyway, so I'm not prepared to do that. I know what the internals and everything looks like under here, and drilling a big hole for this wire would not be the way that I would want to go. So having it come out here, I'm okay with. I have a grommet that's going to help keep everything from being chafed. I just haven't hollowed this out as full as I need it yet because I wanted to get this wire through in this video. So that grommet will be here. We'll use some wire loom. We'll secure it tighter to the box. Still going to secure the wire over there tighter to the box. And we'll have a couple pieces of wire loom, one on each side, tucked up tight to the bed here. It's not going to bother me. If it bothers you, I'm very sorry. I will tell my mother-in-law and we'll see what she says. But let's just get these wires extended and run all the way to the switch box. Remember, these multicolor ones are sitting in the bed right now, so I probably don't have to extend them. We already have them. They are already long enough. All right, we are making some progress. I've got all the wires ran, at least down to the ground. I've got all the soldering done. So these are heat shrink tubed and taped up. And then we have all of our wires color matching for the most part, so I know exactly what to wire into the switch over there. I've got the grommet cut out to be the right size. I just need to fit it into there. And then we'll get some wire loom as one of the final steps. Make sure that wire loom comes down pretty much all the way under the cab, all the way along, and then up behind this wheel well. And then it'll come up kind of behind the battery area, and then we will hook it up to our switch panel right here. Maybe you're like me, but I am such a pack rat. I've been looking for an excuse to use all of this wire loom. I've got a ton of it, probably a little bit bigger than I need for that wire right there, but it's what I have, so I'm going to use it. So we're just going to put that around here just to protect it, and then we'll secure it up to the frame rails. I'll film some of that for you, and then we should be able to hook it up, make some adjustments to how it's angled, and then test it. I think that went pretty good. Everything is tucked up really nice. I want you to know that that's been done properly. So all along the frame rail, all the way back there. Yes, it's dirty and muddy around here in this part of the country, but it's all tucked up nice. Nothing hangs lower than the frame. Nothing's going to get snagged. It does go in behind the wheel well here, or behind this liner. And then you saw where I pulled it up through here. I fished it along here, fished it across. I have everything ready to go. Some of the new lighting stuff here's got to be hooked up, but everything is hooked up. So we're about to test it. But I've been working all day, and then I started this project after work. It's nighttime now. I think it's time for a break. So we're going to pick this up in the morning. Okay, it is the next morning. Got a workout in, feeling pretty good. We have everything hooked up when it comes to the new light bar up there. Now we just have to make some adjustments, make sure that it's centered. If I'm being honest, I think it needs a little bit of a riser, like a spacer underneath the bracket, maybe 3/8 of an inch, half an inch. It clears the roof line, but it will not drop light below the roof line. At least that's what I'm guessing. We'll have to do some daytime testing here shortly, and then I'll wait till tonight to do some nighttime testing, but let's make sure everything's put back together. I'll try to aim it as best I can, which I'm just gonna go for a kind of straight ahead level. And the good news is, and remember, even if the light from it doesn't get down to ground level in front of me, I've got the matching light bar in my bumper, and I've got the matching cubes on my hood. So I think we're covered. You know, a couple things I'm proud of. One, we got it centered, so that was easy. I kind of wish these were black, but I'm really proud of that right there. I mean, look at that. Nice and clean. I don't love that we have conduit coming out there for the wires, but whatever. And also I want to get some spacers made because I think this could come up 3/8 to half an inch. Hit me up if you have a 3D printer and maybe we could figure something out. Shipping to Canada though really sucks. Okay, we are just out in a field here. I'm going to use my long range remote here for my new aux beam switches. So this is just a daylight test to just kind of see placement and just the overall daytime look. Obviously I'm not going to be driving with them on in the daytime, it makes zero sense. And then at night you can only use these off-road, so keep that in mind. But let's have a closer look. Ooh, it's cold out. It is cold out. So now we'll come back to the same spot here. Maybe we'll back up on the road up here and we'll go way down that road and we will try it from a distance. Maybe we'll get the drone up in the air. So let's fast forward to nighttime. Okay, we got the sport bar installed. Now we got a light bar put on top of it. Again, I went with a light bar because I couldn't have it go too high. I park indoors too often, not in my own garage, but just places that we go, parkades, that type of thing, based on the area that I live in. So it is what it is. I think the light bar looks good though because it has the same theme as the other ones on the truck. So it's consistent and I think it looks really good. So I do want to thank BrightSource for helping procure this light bar for me. It's made by Strands. It is the Siberia dual row 42-inch LED light bar. Go to brightsource.ca, check them out. They ship to the US and Canada. Also, fair warning, you may have to cover these. I'm actually supposed to, I believe, for the area that I live. I've never been given a hard time, but this is pretty prominent now. So I do have some covers coming. brightsource.ca has those as well. And I have a cover coming for the front light bar. I don't have a cover for these yet because they don't make them for this size. So if I need them, we'll figure that out down the road. My only real criticism, this has to do with Strands, is they should have black hardware for mounting it. I know they have black hardware for other items, such as the items that I'm going to put in this area here. I already have some pre-wiring in here. We ran that in this video. And I also have some holes drilled because I'm going to do a nice clean install like this light bar. So that's going to be the next video. So if you're curious, hit that subscribe button. Definitely smash that like button and we'll talk to you next time.